Now we can use WordPress to do our first assignment. I have already begun this post. I'll show you in class how to get to this point, but I've got a title in up here. I've typed in my first paragraph, and you notice when I click on it that I can do things like change alignment of text. I could make it bold, italics. I could make a hyperlink and so forth. The other thing is, once I've clicked on it, I could actually remove it. These are all blocks. Now, when I go to add my next block, I'm going to click on plus here. It says add a block. Now you see there's all kinds of blocks, like there's text blocks, like paragraphs, and headings, and lists, and quotes. And you'll see how as I change these, there's a little preview. But there's also things down here like embeds, where you can take content from another place, like a GIF or an Instagram post or a Twitter post or a YouTube video. And so that's kind of what we're going to do with this. So the first thing I want to do is I want to add a little bit more text to this here. So I'm going to click here and I'm going to paragraph, and you'll see I've got a paragraph and I've got some text copied here. So let's say one of the things I want to talk about is the protest here in Portland. Okay, so in this particular case, I've got a YouTube video here of the Burnside Bridge protest, and what I need to do is I need to get a link. Now typically most of these other sources like YouTube or Twitter or Instagram, they're always going to have a share function. So I'm going to click on share and I'm going to copy this URL, okay, and it says copied to clipboard. Then I'm going to go down here and I'm going to go look for this YouTube embed block. Now I could scroll down, but it's easier to just go here to the search bar and type in YouTube like that. And now all I have to do is just paste that YouTube link in, and now I've embedded that. Okay. And now let's say the next thing I want to do is I want to do Donald Trump is a one-term president. So now I can click the plus here, add a paragraph, and in this particular case, let's say I've got something from Instagram, and I'm going to go here and go copy link, because you can usually get a link to most any embeddable content. I'm going to go back over here. Now I need to add a new block. And again, I could search down for Instagram, or I could just start typing Instagram, and you'll see I could do latest post, but what I really want is I want a specific Instagram post, not my latest post. So I click here and I pop in a URL and I go embed. Okay. So now I've got a couple posts in here, and what I probably want to do is save the draft. You know, I'm not ready to publish it yet, so I'm going to save it. And then the next thing I want to do is I want to preview it, and typically I want to preview it in a new tab. So you'll see another tab opens up here, and you can see I can start to see my post as it's going to look. All right. And these functions, so if I start playing this will actually run. Okay. There's nothing to play here. Now, I can't edit this because this is a preview, so I'm just going to exit out to clean things up, and I'm going to go back to this post. Now, the other thing is I may want to rearrange things, okay, and you can easily do that. Like, let's say that for some reason I wanted to move Donald Trump as a one-term president up higher. You'll see I get a little arrow here, and if I do that, it just pops up, and that pops up again, and then I can click here and I can pop this up and move it up again, and now I've changed the order. So now I'm doing the Trump is a one-term president before I'm doing the protest, which is kind of a bad idea because they're out of sequence. Now, virtually every embed that you use, you're going to have to go get the URL first, like I did here and like I did here. But there is one embed that you can do that's a little bit different. So I'm going to give this a title here. So I'm going to add, click here, the plus, and I'm going to add, it says paragraph, but that just means font, coronavirus. And if you go to add a GIF actually has a search option within WordPress. So if I go here and type in GIF, now I have to get the GIF embed. And so I go here, now I can actually use Giphy to search for something on corona. Would help if I spelled it right. And I go search. And so now I'm going to put this in, okay? And again, I can save the draft. And I can, when it loads up, I can preview it. And I'll preview it in a new tab. And so you'll see we've got all the material here. Now, the other thing I'd mention is you may want to use something called a heading. This is just text, paragraph text. And if I kept going with it, I could keep typing and have a whole long paragraph. I could also convert this to a heading, in which case it gets a different look, and you'll see there's an H2 heading and an H3 heading, and you'll see this changes all along. The other thing I would mention is that over here on the right, I'm just building the whole thing here, but if I click on this little gear logo, now it digs down a little bit deeper. And there's two views here. There's the post view, this shows me everything. And then there's the block view. And so if I click here on font and I'm on block, you'll see I can mess around with font. Now I'm probably just going to leave it default, okay? And you'll see here on YouTube, there's a few different settings. But for the most part, you're just going to add these different items and create kind of a time capsule about 2020. And this is really just an assignment to give you a chance to play around with WordPress and learn a little bit more about how to manage the blocks. Again, when I'm ready to publish, I'll hit publish and it'll become a published post. So let's stop right there.